Hello there, welcome to Couples Tête-à-Tête, the program where we build godly marriages one conversation at a time. My name is Barry Negbosi, and
I'm Bumi Bosi.
we're so pleased to have you with us today.
Yes.
Last episode, we started talking about hindrances to good communication in the homes, and we identified 10 barriers. We talked about 5 of them last episode. Let's quickly tell you what those 5 were before we go on to the next 5 today.
The first one was pride and self-centeredness, unforgiveness and past hurts, lack of time and distractions, unspoken expectations, and poor listening skills.
Poor listening skills was the last one. Are you listening well? I hope it blessed you, and I hope you shared it with somebody and you invited them to watch this one. But let's go on to the next 5. The very first hindrance we see today might surprise you a little bit. Fear of conflict. And you ask yourself, fear of conflict between husband and wife? How? Well, we'll get into it, but let's look at the scripture that gives us an introduction to that.
Ephesians 4:15 says, "Rather, speaking the truth in love, we're to grow up in every way into Him who is the head, even Christ."
Typically, people react differently to conflict. Some people avoid conflict, some people confront conflict, and some people just behave as if there's no conflict. Okay? Now, if there is an issue in the home, you don't want to avoid the issue. You don't want to, as it were, sweep it under the carpet simply because you want peace. Many times, sweeping things under the carpet is what causes the carpet to bulge and you eventually trip over that carpet. Now you're smiling, so you must have something in your mind.
Yeah, they tripping because after a while, that issue could become something major because it wasn't dealt with at the right time.
Yes. So do not fear healthy disagreements. Face healthy disagreement with grace. Our scripture says, speak the truth in love. There's something I typically say, and it's from Ephesians as well. It says, speaking to one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. And I typically say, you can't insult somebody in a psalm. Oh, I curse you. Oh, you can't do that. So, confront the matter, but confront it in love. Recognize, we said it last time, you are partners. You are like 2 tennis players playing as a team, playing together. Or if you prefer, you are like 2 wrestlers. I don't like the wrestling one because then you don't want to fight each other. But you are a duo. You are working together. You are on the same team. I tell people, you are on one team, the devil is on the other team. So, you are not against one another. You are for one another.
Yeah, you can use a wrestler analogy because you are a tag team. You are fighting against anything that will work against your marriage.
Absolutely. Yes. You're a tag team. So work together and confront that conflict in love. Don't fear it. Don't avoid it, but resolve it. If you have to stay up all night to resolve it, please do. It can be done, and it will be all the better for your marriage. We'll go on to the next hindrance to healthy, godly communication, and it is negative or critical speech. Negative or critical speech. Let's hear the scripture for that.
Ephesians 4:29 says, "Let no corrupt talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear it."
Yeah. One thing we have learned, and you probably learned it as well about communication, is always try and address the issue, not the person. You see, if you want to focus on the issue, the chances are that you will not be hitting at the person. So something happens. Dinner is late. Now, you could say, oh, is there something I could do to help next time so that we don't have dinner late because the children have to go to bed on time. That's one way of approaching it. But if you come at it to say, you're always late with dinner, the children have to go to bed, automatically that negative or critical speech throws up a barrier, throws up a hindrance, and there's going to be a reaction. You don't want that to happen. You want a situation where you can discuss the issue, you can talk about the issue, you can make progress on the issue, and make progress in your whole relationship. And the relationship gets better and better. Guys, a good marriage is hard work. But it's sweet and rewarding work. It is work that you must choose to undertake. You must choose to do.
Yeah, a good marriage is a lot of work. It takes intentionality. It just doesn't happen. It takes real hard work, prayer, communication, and love. Loving words, not criticism.
Not hurtful words. Yes. Thank you very much. Let's look at the next hindrance: emotional baggage or unhealed trauma. Now, when you hear that, you think about what has happened possibly prior to the marriage. And you're asking yourself, how can that be a hindrance? Well, let's talk about it in the next few minutes. Let's look at the scripture for that.
It's Psalm 147 verse 3, and it says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds.
Yes. Old wounds can distort today's conversations.
Sure.
Somebody might have been abused. One member of the household, I say one person, one of the spouses might have been abused as a child, might have had issues. You have something, okay, might have had some issue in the past, and it was not properly resolved, and it gets carried over. It could be that something your wife does triggers a memory, something your husband does makes you remember something, and you begin to react. The person who triggered it did it unknowingly, unwittingly, was not aware of the old hurt. There are a number of ways to handle that. The first is you need to be open. At the point where you were courting, at the point where you were dating, talk about the things that have happened to you. Talk about the issues that have been a challenge in the past. Talk about the things that have hurt you in the past. How have you dealt with them? If necessary, get counseling. Get an older person to talk to you. Get somebody who has more spiritual insight to pray with you, to counsel with you, to guide you along that path. But please do not use that old hurt as a weapon against your spouse. No. Let old wounds remain in the past. By God's grace, allow them to heal. Look at your relationship with fresh eyes. Know that your spouse was not responsible for what happened to you, was not responsible for what you went through. But your spouse can help you heal if you're opening up. Healthy conversations must be engaged in to be able to heal trauma and baggage from the past. And that's something you want to undertake every time.
And talking about healing, the passage we read, Psalm 147 verse 3 says, He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. If you give it to God and ask Him for help, He's going to do it for you. He's going to heal you. He is the one who can heal so that you are not triggered by any reference to the experience that troubled you before.
Thank you very much. So, let God heal you so that you can move on and enjoy not just the present, but also the future. The next hindrance we want to look at is lack of prayer and spiritual connection. Lack of prayer and spiritual connection. And we have a scripture for that.
And that scripture is Ephesians 4.
I think it's Ecclesiastes.
Or Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 12.
Okay.
And it says, let me read it, let me recite it in the King James Version. It says, a threefold cord is not easily broken. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken, NIV says. And what are the 3 strands of the cord? God, my wife, me.
And talking about that, we developed an initial BCB when we were cutting.
Yeah.
Barile, Christ, Gomi.
Gomi.
It is Jesus that joins us together.
Absolutely.
And we must always remember that.
Yeah. And we connect with God in prayer. So that's why we see that when couples stop praying together, they drift apart. And it's not easy. I want to guarantee you, I want to guarantee you, it's not easy to pray together. There will be always all sorts of things vying for your time, competing for your time.
Yeah.
But maybe personal experience, what were some of the challenges we had in trying to pray together?
Yeah. Tiredness, not keeping the time, and sometimes having the children, maybe a child didn't sleep in the night. So those were challenges. But truth be told, in spite of the challenge, you've got to do it because prayer unites you. I discovered many years ago that prayer really binds. Yes.
How does it bind? You get close to the person you pray to. You get close and united to the person you pray with. And you get close to the person you pray for. If you focus on a friend, a brother, a sister, you are praying for that person, you want to connect with them, you want to check on them, you want to know how they're doing, and you want to know that God is answering your prayers. Trust me, you need to pray together as a couple. Of course, you have your own individual time to pray. You have your time with the children. You see, those are the challenges. Because when you were single, you had the time to pray just by yourself.
Yes.
Now you're married and then the children have come in. So you want to make time for individual prayer, you want to make time for prayer with your wife, you want to make time for prayer with the family. It seems like a lot, but if you develop the right rhythm, you can get it done. Because the truth is, when couples stop praying together, they drift apart.
Yeah.
You don't want to drift apart. You're going to say something?
No.
Okay. You don't want to drift apart, so you want to pray together. You want to ensure that you keep that discipline however difficult it is. And once God sees your heart, trust me, He's going to help you and you can get it done. The final hindrance we want to look at today is cultural or personality differences. And I'm already smiling because that is so us. Cultural difference, personality difference, we'll share in a minute. But let's look at the scripture.
1 Peter 3:7. Likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as a weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of the grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered.
Absolutely. I just said that is so us. Our backgrounds and temperaments differ. Background?
Can say that again.
Well, just tell them.
Yeah. We're from different parts of the country. I'm Yoruba, he is Ogoni. And temperaments is a chronic sanguine. And
she's a chronic melancholic. So you see, an interesting thing is that's how God brings people together. I think it's science or physics that says that the opposite poles attract. I say long time since I did science. Opposite poles attract. So don't be surprised if you are noisy like me and you get attracted to somebody who is very quiet. Sometimes the other way around is the wife who is the sanguine and the man is, extremely quiet. But you see, in spite of the difference in our backgrounds and in our temperaments, in our upbringings, God still expects us to successfully run this race called marriage.
Yes.
If He brought you together, trust me, He can help you to do it. It's not a flaw. Instead, it's a strength to have differences in backgrounds. So it's an opportunity. And that's why our scripture says, live with your wife. Speaking specifically to the husbands now, because you are providing leadership. Live with your wives in an understanding manner. Understand the differences and work with the differences. Don't let the differences work against you. Rather, let the differences work for you.
Yeah.
And as you do, you have a better marriage, you have a stronger marriage. I don't know which of these hindrances stood out for you today, but As you have conversations, remember we're building godly homes one conversation at a time. As you go back and have conversations, we're trusting God that whatever it is that is a challenge for you now, you can go back into the scriptures. We just quoted one scripture each, but there's so many scriptures that will help you with each of these matters. Reach out to us if you need more help. We'll be glad. Follow us for more insights, for more conversations that will help to build your marriage. And we'll be glad to have you share with other people. Thank you for joining us today. And we just pray the Lord will help you as you build your marriage. God bless you.
Yes, and remember the final word will always live with you. Matthew 7:24. Jesus said, "Everyone then who hears these my words and acts on them will be like the wise man who built his house on the rock." So build on the rock.
God bless you.
God bless you.